Well, Growers Edge, I think, has made us more money by allowing me to survey the local bids that I'm in the area that I want to sell my grain. The local elevators and the ethanol plants know that this information is out there, so they've got to be competitive if they want to get the grain. You know, we've been able to maximize our return on our farm.
Good afternoon and welcome to GrainTV for the weekly wrap-up on Friday, October 25th, 2013. To my left is Logan Burgess and I'm Brock Schimdo. Another negative tone in the markets in Chicago. Let's turn with a fire tip to see how we ended. Corn was down just a quarter penny. Soybeans, the leader to the downside, down 9 3/4. Wheat in Chicago off 5 3/4, and Kansas City wheat was off 5 1/4 cents as well. You know, Logan, we did see a little bit more of a negative tone here coming into the markets and heading into the weekend. You know, for corn, we've been pretty much trading in a pretty tight consolidation range for about a month or so right now. We've been trading between 435 and 450. We've been kind of watching this technical area around the 440 area here more recently. But, you know, looking out further and looking for some more information to come into the market, a couple of areas I'm going to be watching is going to be next Thursday's export sales report, and then after that the November 8th report. But something that we did just get across the news wires here more recently was the commitment of traders report. Now this is a backdated report, just as like we've seen with the export sales report here recently. It's as the position of the traders as of October 1st, and something that was a little bit alarming to me was that we saw the non-commercial net short position about 214,000 contracts net short on corn. So I think corn right now, as it's sitting, we're kind of in a consolidation area that usually kind of signals this market's ready to make a large move either to the upside or to the downside. And I think that this market could really be susceptible to a short covering rally, which could, you know, pop us above that trend line we've been watching, and we could head up as high as 480 right now.
Yeah, certainly. You know, if we do get a good run up to 480, it might be a good opportunity to price some of that grain. You're right, Brock. You know, a lot of times in these markets, when we see a large percentage of the commercial or of the fund traders on one side of the boat, that typically means that it's time for a little bit of a reversal in the trend. Certainly, we've seen corn trade down to sideways, as you had said, really here for about the last month. So keep an eye on that. We have this trend line drawn on the chart. You can take a look here, and if you have questions about getting that trend line at your home or office, you can give us a call at the office here. Our number is 877-472-4607. You know, Brock, today we saw some weakness out of the soybean market as well. We closed right at $13 a bushel. It seemed largely like it was technical weakness. We had a little bit of a weak day yesterday, and we didn't have enough information in today's trade session to really prop things up. It is Friday, though, and on Friday we take a look at the cash market, and we did see a little bit of strength out of the cash market for soybeans here. If we take a look at beans first, we did see on the week here up 2 cents on average across the country. The export market remains very supportive for soybeans, and the river market remains very strong as well. The river markets in general, we saw a lot of gains of 5 to 10 cents there, and really for soybeans, it remains the story here. There's some great storage opportunities out to January right now in that cash soybean market. But anyone looking to store beans here out of harvest, it's really important that they're going to be pricing those beans before February or March when the South American crop comes out of the fields. That's really been weighing on the U.S. cash market, and once you get out past January, there's not a lot of great opportunities. So if you need help finding those beans opportunities, you can give us a call here at the office as well. Corn, a little bit more of a quiet week, though. You can see here from the map, we have a pretty darn good strength out of the Gulf market there. But on average, we saw corn basis unchanged here. You can see there's some pockets of strength, though, that do show themselves on this map. And in large part, that's ethanol facilities that we've seen pretty aggressively bidding corn here, that new crop corn. And really what's driving that is a crush margin that now sits around $2.90 a bushel for corn for much of the Corn Belt right now. So bottom line right now, if you're looking at making some cash sales out of the fields here for corn, certainly those ethanol facilities right now are showing a little bit of a premium. Some opportunities at the river, but not nearly as much as we're seeing in beans right now.
You know, and some of the talk of the trade right now is that there has been relatively light selling by farmers into the cash market, and that's really kind of put a bid or kept a bid underneath the basis levels right now. You know, especially out in the western Corn Belt, the harvest is progressing pretty quickly right now. That has actually weakened that area just a little bit more than on average what we saw across the country. And I really think that across the country we are going to continue to see harvest pressure really push this market to the downside here little bit. If we take a look at the weather maps, you can see that the precipitation totals are supposed to be a little bit above average than what we would normally see this time of year for the next 6 to 10 days.
Right.
Not large quantities expected, but it could provide some delays. And then if we look at the temperature as well, you can see it's supposed to be just a little bit cooler as well across the country. So we could see some minor delays in the harvest activity, but as we know, soybeans are mostly going to be wrapped up here in about the next week or 10 days.
Yep.
Corn should be on the other side of 50% here in Monday's report, so that'll be a number we'll be watching in Monday's crop progress report.
Yeah, certainly a lot of numbers that the trade's going to be watching closely next week. Monday, we do get those crop progress numbers, as Brock said. Wednesday, we'll get EIA ethanol numbers coming on the heels here of a very strong week last week. And then kind of the big show next week, though, is Thursday's export sales report. We're going to be getting 3 weeks worth of export sales, and a lot of traders right now are very interested to see how much the Chinese were in the U.S. grain market here during the government shutdown. We'll find out on Thursday. Certainly, though, kind of a weak close to the grains here to end the week. We'll have to see if we find some more fundamental strength to kind of combat some of this technical weakness we're seeing on Monday. Have a great weekend. We'll see you then.